I want to bring in two of those who have been part of this hearing today, Florida Congressman Bob Wexler and Republican Indiana Congressman Dan Burton, a Democrat and a Republican. Congressman Wexler, your thoughts on today's highlights, that being a June, July of next year drawdown to the pre-surge numbers and whatever else you found of great interest today.
Oh, I found it very disturbing that General Petraeus has essentially outlined a strategy in which we will continue the surge level of troops for yet another year. Also disturbing is the fact that General Petraeus comes to this committee and says that the level of sectarian violence has been substantially reduced. And yet our national intelligence estimate and all other non-biased, non-partisan assessments have concluded that the war-related deaths in Iraq in 2007 have actually doubled.
Congressman
in
Wexler?
Question are the facts that General Petraeus is basing his assessment on.
Congressman Wexler, just so that I'm clear, General Petraeus said prior to this that he had written this based on his observations on the ground, that it had not been run by the White House or anyone else. Are you suggesting that those were inaccuracies or untruths, or that he is towing the line of the administration rather than doing what's best for the U.S. military?
Well, facts are facts, and General Petraeus has come here to deliver facts which seem to be totally at odds with the National Intelligence Assessment, with the Congressional Accounting Office, and with many other unbiased, nonpartisan assessments.
Because I feel like it's important to have very clear statement on this. Are you suggesting that he has a different assessment thereof, or that he is lying?
I am not, I can't get into General Petraeus's head. But what I do know is that the man in charge of the war in Iraq is presenting facts to Congress today which do not seem to be accurate. And if that's the case, which it appears to be, then that throws into question the entire assessment that he and the Commander-in-Chief, President Bush, has made. That's very troubling, and unfortunately it's reminiscent of the same type of testimony that Congress heard in the first place in the Iraq War, which of course in retrospect we all now know was false and led us to go into this war based on false pretense.
Congressman Burton, your reaction, and further, how do you factor in the well-acknowledged fact that so many Iraqis have fled the area, and that security outside of Anbar in many areas is handled within the local confines, and that so much of the reasons for the greater security as described today may be different than those many Americans may think?
Well, first of all, let me just say that General Petraeus is a man of integrity, and I hate to hear any of my colleagues, especially my friend Mr. Wexler, start questioning him. He is on the ground. He's not 6,000 miles away like we in Congress are, and he sees this thing up really close. And he's making decisions based upon what's best for Iraq and for the American people. If we were to pull out expeditiously, as my colleagues are talking about, Iran has always said, Ahmadinejad, the president over there, has already said that they will fill the vacuum. That will become a terrorist breeding ground, and the whole world will be at risk, not just the Middle East. And so there's a lot more at stake here than just Iraq. And I think my colleagues who are talking about this in a very small framework are being very myopic. They've got to look at the terrorist threat around the world and what might happen if we precipitously pull out.
I don't really have any way to be sure, but I think, I'm sorry, Congressman, under no circumstances would I interrupt you, except that I believe the hearing has begun.